if you'll please call the roll.
Thank you. Matt Conant,
Yes.
Nick Avdis, Chris Burns, Brian Holloway,
Here.
Cyril Shaw, Angelique Ashby, Jeff Harris,
Here.
Rick Jennings,
Here.
Sue Frost,
Here.
John Natoli, Susan Peters,
Here.
Patrick Kennedy, Bill Cerna.
Here.
Chairman Kennedy, we're good to start now, but not to do the RON yet.
Okay, well, let's start and see how it goes. And would Darth Vader please mute your phone? Thank you. Would you please call the roll?
I just did that.
Oh, you did, yeah. We're gonna forego the pledge because most of us have done it at least twice today. So are there any public comments?
Chairman Kennedy, I have not received any public comments via email or postal service.
Thank you. And then let's move on with consent.
We have consent matters, items 2 through 8 are in order.
Are there any members of the board that have any questions or would like to pose anything from consent?
I'll move the consent calendar, Chair.
Moved by Harris, second by?
Natoli, second.
Second by Natoli, thank you. All those in favor? I'm sorry, call the roll, please.
Matt Conant, Nick Avdis,
Aye.
Chris Burns,
Here.
Chris Burns, are you voting yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Brian Holloway,
Aye.
Cyril Shaw, Angelique Ashby, Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
Don Natoli,
Aye.
Susan Peters,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy,
Aye.
Bill Cerna.
Aye.
Motion does pass.
And I have to continue to make the obligatory admonishment to please mute your phone when you're not speaking. There's a lot of background somewhere. Separate matters, next.
Separate matters, item number 9, resolution number 2020092, recognizing Emma Holly Gilchrist for her contributions to the Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency upon the occasion of her retirement.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay. Good afternoon, members of the board. Rick Johnson here. I'm not going to read through the reso that you have, but I do want to talk a little bit about Holly. And I unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to her in these remote circumstances. But Holly started in May of 2009, just about a year before I did with SAFCA. And this was after a considerable amount of civil service time working for the county and for the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. So she's got a lot of service to our community behind her, and we appreciate that. But when Holly started, we were right in the middle of trying to take on the Natomas work. SAFCA was doing that work with funding from the state. And so Holly jumped right in, and she was instrumental in developing some agreements with the state for the funding that we needed. And then she was really key in getting an agreement we needed with the airport executed. And in fact, my understanding is it's probably because of her involvement in that agreement that she ended up with SAFCA. So that was a key agreement that we needed to move forward with the Natomas project. We had to do 2 different assessment districts. One, the Natomas Basin Levee Assessment District, and the Capital Consolidated Assessment District number 2. And Holly was very instrumental in both of those, including the Prop 218 vote. And then because we were lead in construction, we were having a lot of claim procedure issues, and Holly was instrumental in getting our process modified, which was much more efficient and effective for the agency. And that was just some of the main things she did for Natomas, but then things have really ramped up with the Corps of Engineers work, and because of the size of our agency and because of the overlap with legal, Holly also had under her all the real estate responsibilities. So over the last 11 years, this has been an enormous undertaking and continues to be. And Holly had that on top of all the other things that she did. She had a lot of experience with bond sales with the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency, and that proved very valuable for us. We estimated we probably, under her, with her help during her time, sold about $400 million worth of bonds while here at SAFCA. And all this was in addition to Holly serving as the counsel for board, both SAFCA, the agency, and for the board. So just kind of high level showing her contribution. But the thing that I really appreciate and will always remember the most was back in 2012, the city requested that SAFCA leave the city program for their personnel system and form our own personnel system. And it was about the same time the IRS came out with the new rules that more than one agency couldn't share a retirement system. So by far and away, forming our own independent personnel system management was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I certainly couldn't have done it without Holly. And as we found out, CalPERS proved to be probably the ultimate test for any of us working through that. We finally got through it in 2015. It took over a year just to prove SAFCA was a government agency. But Holly, through her tenacity, overcame all that. And finally in 2015, we were able to form that. But I'll always remember that. She just hung in there, and every time something came up, figured a way through it. So I'll always appreciate that effort on her part. I think I owe her, and we all owe her, a huge debt of gratitude. She's been extremely dedicated and is so caring about the work and making sure that it gets done for the people of Sacramento. And I consider her my friend. So with that, probably see if Holly would like to say a few words to the board.
Yes, thank you, Rick. And I consider you my friend as well. And especially after we had all those sleepless nights doing the personnel administration transition. I know you and I probably got a lot of gray hairs doing that. But I wanted to thank the SAFCA board and SAFCA staff for all the hard work they do. It's been a privilege to work with both the board and staff in the important work of providing flood protection to the Sacramento region. I feel like I've come full circle in that when I started in the public sector about 30 years ago, I was doing affordable housing at SHRA. And then at the county, I did a lot of projects like the baseball stadium, Terminal A, Music Circus, and a lot of financing of county services through to the first ever tobacco revenue securitization. And I'm finishing my career for the last 11 years providing flood protection for those projects and for the community as well. I appreciate all the support and mentoring I received over the years from Dick Hyde and Nancy Miller in the private sector to Dana Phillips at SHRA, Bob Ryan, County Council, as well as numerous outside counsel. However, the most important support is sitting next to me, and it's my husband, Al Mance, who gave up his career to raise our daughter at a time when fathers staying at home as the primary caregiver of their children was not valued very much by society. And I can't thank him enough, especially today, which happens to be our anniversary. So I will miss all my SAFCA partners in crime. It's a great group who, as you, I hope the board realizes, care so much about the work they do and work so hard, but especially John Bassett, who was there at the very beginning and really taught me the practical side of eminent domain. And of course, Alia Tayeb and Jennifer Heredia. I hope I can continue to be of service to the community and SAFCA, and I'm only a phone call away. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Holly. Are there any members of the board that would like to make comments? Brian?
Brian's muted.
Hi. I just wanted to say that I had the pleasure of first meeting our awardee today when I was on the Redevelopment Commission. And I won't say how long ago that was, but she did a really great job at the Redevelopment Agency. And when I had the pleasure to come over to SAFCA, and I find that Holly is now here, it was very nice to know that everything was going to be handled well. She's very, whether it's housing or flood or whatever the issue is, she always able to pursue the goal and do it in the most polite and courteous and successful way. So I just, first of all, happy anniversary, Holly, and I wish you the best in retirement. And thank you for the many years of our friendship and your good work.
Director Jennings.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much. Holly, I'm kind of happy and upset for you all at the same time. Happy because after 30 years in the public sector, you get to spend more time with your mate, and happy anniversary to you today. You didn't tell us how many years it's been, but I can imagine it's been a minute. And so I'm happy for you for a lot of different reasons. But I'm upset because you served with my wife longer than you served with me. And my wife used to tell me all the time, she said that you're talking about somebody that's dedicated, somebody that's caring, someone who works hard, who has incredible tenacity, is no nonsense, all about the business, and is the ultimate professional. And everything that she said, I saw in every interaction with you, while working with you at SAFCA. And so Brian just said it well. Everything you do, when we put it in your hands, we know it's going to be handled well. So we wish you the best in your retirement. We also wish you many, many more happy years together as a married couple, and happy anniversary once again.
Thank you, Rick.
I see no other hands up. Is there anyone else who would like to? Okay, Mr. Cohen.
Yes, Holly, I'm kind of new to the board in relation to I think professionalism with you in your handling of all the land use issues and the eminent domain issues, which some of them went on, it seems like forever. We're all concerned we'll never get through that process, but you're always been very patient and got through the process and happy anniversary.
Director Harris. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's let Don go so he can mute his phone. Go ahead, Don.
Well, it was muted, but anyway, Holly, I want to say it's been a pleasure working with you. And again, known you a long time, working in the trenches on the county side of it before you went to SAFCA. And you've always done good work. You've excelled at what you do and certainly have given good advice to all your clients. And I think you've certainly been an outstanding public servant in your chosen profession. And I want to wish you and your husband and your family certainly a happy anniversary today, but a happy retirement and good health and many blessings in all the years to come. Thanks, Holly, for all your good work.
Thank you, Don.
Director Harris.
Thank you, Patrick. Holly, the couple of years I served as chair on SAFCA, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed all of our briefings. the chair briefings and you come into the office, and all of those interactions were wonderful. And working on CC82, all of these things, working on flood control is really important work, and you showed your dedication, definitely. It's just been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best.
Any others?
Yes, this is Susan Peters.
Go ahead, Director Peters.
Okay. Hey, Holly, this is Susan Peters. I wanted to wish you well also and happy anniversary. I remember working with you at the county and always thought you did a great job there. When you came over to SAFCA, I felt comfortable with your attention to detail. I can remember all those meetings we had on the properties out in the Natomas, trying to get them on a map and get comparables and standardizing the comparisons. And you did a great job on that. And I'll always thank you for that. So I wish you the best and happy anniversary.
Thank you, Susan.
Chairman,
Chair Kennedy, this is Member Cerna.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the sentiments of gratitude, Holly, for all of your commitment to the agency. I had a chance to serve as chair in, gosh, I don't even remember what year it was. I think it was 2012, maybe in 2013, but it was right at the precipice of acquiring authorization to move forward with the Natomas improvements. And I know that you were working long hours, working nights, you and Rick and the entire staff of our agency to put our best foot forward, working with Congress and congressional leaders to make sure that we achieved what we set out to do. And I know that it would not have happened if not for your tireless dedication. So I want to express my thank you for that in particular. And happy anniversary.
Anyone else?
Chair Kennedy, this is Sue Frost. Hi, Holly. I just wanted to thank you. I'm also one of those new members to SAFCA. I haven't been on the board quite as long, but I've learned a lot since I got on the board. And one of the things I learned is that the staff at SAFCA are extraordinary. And the things that they're accomplishing is huge. And you've been a big part of managing a lot of the details of that. And I just wanted to let you know that I've enjoyed working with you, and I wish you all the best. I don't know if you're retiring or moving to something else, but I wanted to wish you all the best with your as your future unfolds, and congratulations on your anniversary also.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Chair Kennedy, Nick Aptis. Holly wanted to say thank you. I'm not going to repeat everything, but your steady hand and leadership through all this time and all the ups and downs, and I certainly appreciate it as my time as chair, the brutal clarity at times of your guidance. And so thank you and happy anniversary, and hope you get to do something fun.
Thanks.
Any others? Okay, well, Holly, I will end by saying, first of all, I hope when I retire that I get a resolution that's 2 pages long. I think your accomplishments on behalf of the people of Sacramento County, and specifically here with the Flood Control Agency, are exemplary. It's the mark of a good lawyer who represents their clients well in court. It's the mark of a better lawyer that keeps their clients from going to court. And you have done just that on many, many occasions. You have probably saved this agency countless dollars through your hard work and your expertise. And we're going to miss your, not just your advice, your counsel, but we're going to miss you as a person. And so we wish you the best. Happy anniversary. I understand you're going to now, they said, whether you were going to retire or go on anything else, I understand you're going to be representing the Natomas Homeowners Association.
I don't think so.
Best of luck to you, Holly. Thank you so much for your service. Okay,
So
we're going to
Patrick,
take item 12 out of order, I believe.
Yeah,
Chairman
before we
Kennedy,
do
we
that,
need
if
to
we
make a
could-
motion.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Is there a motion for the resolution upon Holly Gilchrist retirement?
Done
Peters moved.
Holloway moved,
Second.
seconded by Harris. Please call the roll.
Matt Konen,
Yes.
Nick Abdus,
Aye.
Chris Burns,
Aye.
Brian Holloway, Cyril Shaw, Julie Gashby, Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Yes.
Don Natoli,
Aye.
Susan Peters,
Yes.
Patrick Kennedy.
Aye.
Phil Cernit.
Aye.
Unanimous approval.
Congratulations, Holly. Item 12.
Item number 12, resolution number 2020-095, authorizing an eminent domain action to acquire certain real property interests in Sacramento County Assessor's parcel number 274-0260-042 for the Natomas Basin project. Property owner Lauren M. Moore. And as noted below, pursuant to section 1245240 of the California Code of Civil Procedure, this item requires a 2/3 or 9-member vote to be approved.
Okay, Mr. Bassett, you're up, and please be as brief as possible because we may lose our 2/3 vote if you don't.
Okay,
Chairman Kennedy, we are not in danger of that at this time.
Okay, thank you.
I'll still try and be efficient here.
Thank you.
As indicated, John Bassett, Director of Engineering. This property is located at 2184 Garden Highway in the Natomas Basin area of Sacramento County. Acquisition of the property is required for the Sacramento River East Levee Reach A component of the Phase 4B project. Attachment A to the staff report was a map of the Natomas Basin. Reach A is down at the bottom of the map. Next one. This is a map of the lower portion of Natomas. The parcel is identified by the APN label as just being upstream of 80 on the Sacramento River. Attachment C is a figure that shows the levee improvements along the Reach A area. The particular parcel in question here gets both a cutoff wall and a seepage berm because of the complexity of the flood control issues associated with this bend in the Sacramento River. Reach D has a project description and the necessity for the acquisition, as well as attachment D1, D2, and D3 as described. Attachment E is a letter that we sent to the property owner identifying the need that the property would likely be necessary for the project, and also advise the owner of a draft relocation assistance plan that had been issued for public review. In October, attachment F, October of 2019, SAFCA sent a letter to the owner advising him that SAFCA was preparing an appraisal to acquire the property. In attachment G, in April of 2020, SAFCA provided a formal offer to purchase the property at the full fair market value as determined by the appraisal. On attachment H, after a couple of email transmissions back and forth, SAFCA provided a settlement offer to the owner, again, to acquire the property at somewhere above the appraised value. Attachment I is a diary of the discussions between SAFCA's right-of-way acquisition agent and the owner over this entire course of our discussions with them. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach a settlement on the acquisition. So on August 4th, attachment J of 2020, SAFCA mailed a written notice to the owner of the property, advising him that the board would hold a hearing at the meeting today on the resolution of necessity to acquire the property. That notice advised the owner that he or a representative could be present electronically at this time frame and address the board if he so desired. Exhibit A is legal description of the property, and Exhibit B is a plat showing the location of the property just upstream of Interstate 80. Those are both to Resolution 2020-095, and we're requesting that the board adopt that resolution today. I can take any questions the board may have.
Are there any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair, this is Member Cerna. If there's no questions, I'll move the item.
Hey, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Is that Harris?
Yes.
Thank you. Before we do that, let's just confirm is Mr. Moore on the line or a representative of Mr. Moore? Okay, hearing none, then let's call the roll.
Director Kennedy, this is Agency Counsel 4. We are required to open and close a hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you very much. I get to use my gavel. We will open the hearing. Is there any member of the public who'd like to address this at this time? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. Please call the roll.
Matt Conant,
Aye.
Nick Abdis,
Aye.
Chris Burns, Brian Holloway,
Brian?
I'm trying to unmute him. I think
okay.
we're fighting each other. Brian, let me do it for you. Brian. Brian Holloway.
Thumbs up or down, Brian?
Thank you. Cyril Sheva, Anthony Gashby, Deb Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
John Natoli,
Aye.
Susan Peters,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy,
Aye.
Bill Cerna.
Aye.
And we do have 11-member vote approval. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Thank you.
Item number 10, resolution number 2020-093, authorizing the executive director to execute contract number 1523 with Sacramento Valley Conservancy to hold conservation easements at the Beach Lake and Stone Lakes mitigation sites.
The staff
Good
report.
afternoon, board members. This is Melanie Soche, Principal Planner with SAFCA. This item before you is to discuss the Beach Lake and Stone Lakes mitigation sites and authorizing the executive director to enter a contract with the Sacramento Valley Conservancy to hold easements. The site is located down towards the bottom of this map. You can see it outlined in green. It's a total of 35 acres spread out over 3 different conservation areas or parcels. They both go on the sides of the 5 freeway. So it goes across both sides of Interstate 5, generally south of Consumers River Boulevard. These 3 sites accompany riparian woodland habitat, and they're also elderberry transplant sites. And they're addressing impacts to yellow-billed cuckoo, and they're providing habitat for valley elderberry longhorn beetle. And so conservation easements must be established on these sites through an accredited land trust. Next slide, Lindy. Here's a closer look at the Stone Lake site on the left part of the screen, and then the 2 other conservation areas at Beach Lake on the right side of the screen. So they're all 3 are woodland locations along these 3 different parcels. Next slide. So for this process, we requested proposals through an RFP for an easement holder. We started the process on June 8th. to request proposals through our website. We received 2 proposals in total. The due date for that was July 10th. And by July 31st, we had selected the Sacramento Valley Conservancy. And so we feel that this agency is very qualified to perform the services. They have worked with SAFCA in the past in providing conservation easements and monitoring services for different properties. So we would ask the board to recommend that you approve resolution number 2020-093, authorizing the executive director to execute contract number 1523 with the Sacramento Valley Conservancy at Beach Lake and Stone Lakes mitigation sites.
Move to approve recommended action. Conant.
Moved by Conant. Is there a second?
Second by Burns.
Second by Burns. Are there any issues, questions of the board? Okay, please call the roll.
Matt Conant,
Aye.
Nick Avdis, Chris Burns,
Aye.
Brian Holloway,
Aye, verbally and audio.
Cyril Shaw, Anthony Gaspey, Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
John Natoli,
Aye.
Susan Peters,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy.
Aye.
Bill Cerna.
Aye.
And we do have a 10-member approval. Motion passes.
Next item.
Item number 11, resolution number 2020-094, awarding construction contract number 4494 for the Lower Elkhorn Basin Levee Setback Project, Interior Drainage Project, Yolo County, California, to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, and authorizing the executive director to execute the contract.
Good afternoon, Chair Kennedy and members of the board. My name is Rena Jawanda, Associate Engineer at SAFCA, here to present the Lower Elkhorn Basin Levee Setback Project Interior Drainage for award of a construction contract. Next slide. The Levels project location. The Lower Elkhorn Basin Levee Setback Project is located in Yolo County. It's bounded by I-5 on the north, Yolo Bypass on the west, Sacramento Bypass on the south, and the Sacramento River on the east. The Levels project will expand the flood capacities of Yolo and Sacramento bypasses, benefiting the Sacramento metropolitan area by reducing flood risk in this area. The Levels project is highlighted in yellow, a portion of the Sacramento Bypass North Levee and the Yolo Bypass East Levee project. Next slide. In 2015, Corps completed the American River Common Features GRR report. In 2016, Congress authorized the GRR in the Water Resources Development Act. The GRR and the WRDA 2016 include the Sacramento Rear End Bypass Winding Project, the 2017 update to the 2012 Central Valley Flood Protection Plan included conveyance improvements to the Yolo Bypass. SAFCA and Central Valley Flood Protection Board are non-federal sponsors to the Corps for WRDA 2016 project. In 2019, SAFCA and DWR entered into a reimbursable funding agreement for design and construction of the Levels interior drainage and pump station project in the amount approximately at $14.2 million. In 2020, SAFCA and DWR amended that funding agreement to increase the contract amount to approximately $24.8 million. Next slide. Levels interior drainage project location. The Levels DWR project is shown in the red line, and the interior drainage ditch alignment is shown in the yellow line. The proposed pump station is shown in the green circle on the map. It's west of the Camus location and north of the Bright landfill site. The project is broken into the project is broken into 2 phases. The first phase is being worked on this year, and the second phase will be in 2021. Next slide. environmental review and permit approvals. The environmental impacts associated with the project were analyzed in DWR's final environmental impact report and addendums number 1 and 2 for the project in compliance with CEQA, and DWR adopted the CEQA document and the mitigation monitoring and reporting program on March 18, 2019. SAFCA, as a responsible agency, adopted the CEQA document and the 2 addendums on April 16th board meeting. DWR received all of the environmental permits needed for the Levels project and has amended these permits to provide coverage for the interior drainage project. DWR adopted addendum number 3 on April 20, 2020 for Levels O&M obligations, and addendum number 4 on June 15, 2020 for the interior drainage modifications. SAFCA has independently considered addendum number 4, which was on today's consent item number 3, and has, as it relates to the interior drainage project, but not addendum number 4, as it's not pertinent to SAFCA's project. Next slide. Land acquisition summary. DWR has acquired all 3 properties in the south end of the basin for phase 1 work. DWR has acquired 1 of the properties in the north end of the basin and plans to complete the acquisitions by the end of the calendar year for the remaining 3 properties for phase 2 work set to begin next year. Construction contract award. At the May 2020 SAFCA board meeting, board approved construction documents for the interior drainage project and authorized the executive director to solicit for bids for construction contract number 4495. Notice to contractors was advertised in the Sacramento County bid line and in newspaper advertisements. Plans and specifications were available for download from the Sacramento County website. 121 contractors and or subcontractors downloaded copies of the plans and specifications. 4 addendums were issued during the bidding period, and on August 6th, bid opening occurred with 4 bids being submitted. Bids were reviewed to determine the presence of any map errors or other anomalies per the specifications and bid forms. Bid amounts and totals were presented in the August 11th notice of intent to award letter to bidders. Based on the review, SUCIT Construction was the lowest bidder in the amount of approximately $11.6 million. All bids were found to be responsive and all bids were found to be responsive bids from responsible bidders. Engineers' final opinion of probable cost for the contract was $10.9 million. SAFCA staff and consultants have reviewed the bids. Staff recommends that the bid by SUCIT Construction is the lowest responsive bid from a responsible bidder. Staff recommends that the contract number 4495 be awarded to SUCIT Construction in the amount of $11.6 million. SAFCA has included contingency into the funding agreement amendment number 1 and has sufficient funds to proceed with the award. Next slide. Resolved outstanding items from last board meeting needed prior to award. So the funding agreement amendment number 1 has been executed on June 29th. DWR has received all of the amended environmental permits necessary for the interior drainage project. DWR has closed escrow on properties needed for phase 1 work, and phase 2 negotiations are ongoing, and we expect those to be completed by the end of this calendar year for work next year. Next slide. Board action needed: adopt resolution number 2020-094 awarding contract number 4494 Levels Interior Drainage Project, Yolo County, California, to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, SUCIT Construction, and authorizing the executive director or designee to execute contract number 4495. in approximate amount of 11.6 million. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions of the board? Does the clerk have any cards for any public comment?
I have not received any comments, Chairman Kennedy, or requests.
You? Again, just because it's the lag time, any questions of the board? All right, is there a motion?
I'll move the item, Chair.
Moved by Mr. Harris.
Second.
Who's that?
Conant.
Okay, I'm going to go with Conant. Second by Conant. Please call the roll.
Matt Conant,
Aye.
Nick Avdis,
Aye.
Chris Burns,
Aye.
Brian Holloway,
Aye.
Jeff Harris,
Aye.
Rick Jennings,
Aye.
Sue Frost,
Aye.
John Natoli, Susan Peters,
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy,
Aye.
Phil Cerna.
Aye.
We have a 10-member approval. Motion passes.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Right. Thank you. We moved it for me to go last because we knew a couple of the board members had to drop off. So I'll go through this fairly quickly. I just wanted to let you know, some of you have met her, Emily Richardson. She was the senior legislative assistant for Congresswoman Matsui. She just left at the end of July. She had an opportunity to return to school, and so I just wanted to let you make you aware of that. She was extremely helpful for us over a year there. So Lindy, if you can go to the next slide. A couple other items occurred since the last board meeting. Senate confirmed Major General Scott Spellman. He's now the new Chief of Engineers at the Corps headquarters, and I'll be setting up a virtual meeting with him here in September. So you can go to the next slide, Lindy. Also, since the last board meeting, we have a new commander of the South Pacific Division in San Francisco, Brigadier General Polly Owen. He's had quite a bit of Corps experience, and so I look forward to working, probably be meeting with him in the next couple of weeks here, just making you aware of those changes. On the back at in DC, the House, I think you went, can you go back one, Lindy? Did we get, yeah, there you go. So the House of Representatives passed their WARDA bill for 2020 on July 29th. It did include our requested YOLO bypass study. It did not include the excess credit time extension we requested. They wanted to put that one off to WARDA 2022. The Senate version is still in the EPW committee. So if you can go to the next one there. Our understanding, the House and Senate are starting informal negotiations. So we're working with our two senators on the Senate side, and then with Congresswoman Matsui and Congressman Garamendi on the House side to make sure that our YOLO study is included in the final version, and hopefully we can get the excess credit extension also in the final version. It's a little complicated because the Senate is trying to add some clean drinking water into the WARDA bill, and on the House side, that's another set of committees, so that is making it a little bit of problems there. So since it's such a tight congressional schedule, it's likely to get pushed into the lame duck session, but I just want to make you aware of what was going on there. If you go to the next slide, Lindy, there has been some movement on the federal 2021 appropriations bill. The House passed the energy and water appropriations, which includes the Corps of Engineers work. It includes $131.5 million for the Natomas project. There's also a work plan just under $200 million that's included in there, so it may give us an opportunity to get some additional funding. If you go to the next slide, Lindy, please. Also, they included a COVID recovery supplemental funding, another $10 billion to address construction backlog. So there may be some opportunities to get some additional funding. Natomas is the one where we are still doing the annual funding. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. The Senate has not passed any appropriations bills yet, and our understanding the House and Senate are not in agreement on the COVID recovery. So we'll have to see what happens. Likely going to be a continuing resolution at the start of the federal fiscal year. So we'll have to see what happens with those, but I wanted to make you aware of that going on. You could go to the next slide, Lindy. So I was trying to figure out how to express the magnitude of the work going on right now. So what I did is I listed all of our projects, that construction contracts between the Corps, SAFCA, and DWR that have occurred, are occurring, or will be awarded in 2020. And I just added up their contract amount, and just under $350 million worth of work is going on this year on our project. So it's a pretty significant chunk of funding. So I just wanted to share that just to give you a feel for the magnitude of work going on. I'll hit just a few updates real quick on Thomas. If you go to the next slide, Lindy. Really, Reach D, the contractors just did some finishing up. But on Reach I, good news, the cutoff wall installation has been completed. They're restoring the project site, and the construction will be done in September. On Reach H, the cutoff wall installation continues, but they had some different site conditions, so it'll have to, some of it slip into 2021, as the seepage berm under I-5 will also be in 2021. At pumping plant number 8, they have removed old pipe levees, and they're working on installing the new raised pipes over the levee. You go to the next slide, Lindy. Reach B construction finally has begun. They're doing clearing and grubbing. That included removing some of the empty houses that were out there in the way of construction, as shown in the photo here. That work is scheduled to be done in 2021. So going on now to American River Common Features 2016, I'll just hit a couple of the slides on some of the work there. Lindy, if you go to the next one. One thing I did want to let you know that Lower Elkhorn Basin Levee Setback Project, the actual levee setback work itself was awarded in July by the Department of Water Resources for $101 million. So that is beginning, and as Rena just explained, SAFCA is assisting with interior drainage and pump plant contract. You go to the next slide there. We'll go to little bright landfill. If you hit the next couple of slides, these are just some pictures showing the cover over the corrective action management unit. Just the final touches on it. Next couple of slides, if you go to the next one, just different views showing the work. It's pretty impressive if you have had a chance to get out there, and these just kind of show different angles. So if you go to the next slide there, Lindy, we'll then jump down to Sac River East Levee. That's the one down along the pocket. The Corps provided a few pictures showing some of the slurry oil work done. If you go to the next slide, just again, some of the slurry oil work. The next slide, Lindy, just shows some of the compaction work, and one more slide there. So what we're going to end with is the Corps put together 2 one-minute videos. One shows aerial view that they took the end of June of the work on the East Levee of the Sac River, and then the following one shows an aerial view of up at the dam raise. So Lindy's going to show those 2 real quick. right, thank you. I need to talk to them about the music they put on their videos, but that's all I had if there's any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Johnson, I will say this, that, you know, as you well know, we did a great deal of work with the leadership of Barbara Walco and her team to work with the community prior to the Sacramento River East Levee project, you know, learning lessons from other areas. And I don't know what Mr. Jennings' experience is, but my office has received absolutely no complaints. And that's pretty phenomenal.
Oh, great. It's not easy working in these urban areas, and so appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
No, it's much appreciated. Mr. Jennings and I appreciate the work very much. So.
Other than the fact that they want you to start an hour later so they can sleep later, you know, our community, the demographics of our community are a little bit older. So
plus everybody's home.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everyone's watching, right?
Patrick, I just say that some of the precursor work that started over 2 years ago was probably quite helpful, and I know that you both were involved in that, as well as Gualco, and of course all of our team. So they did a lot of footwork before the start of the project that really paid off.
It really did. And so thank you, Director. Any other comments? No, that is our last item. So thank you all. I want to specifically thank our clerk, Lindy. When we started doing this, it was a little rocky with all of our agencies. And these meetings have gone very, very smoothly. And it's, I think, primarily due to the work of Lindy Russell. So thank you very much to our clerk.
Oh,
With
thank
that,
you very much.
we are adjourned.
Hey, Lindy, it's Matt Conant.
Yes.
I think on the first vote, I